Okay, let's begin, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our virtual open house at the OLLI at Cal State Fullerton. I'm Joyce Ono, a current OLLI Cal State Fullerton president. And I'm glad that you can all make it today and are taking some time out from your busy Saturdays to join us. So without further ado, let me begin on our agenda. We have a pretty full agenda today. I'll start with welcome and introductions. We'll have Chris Swart, our Associate VP from Extension and International Programs, to provide some perspective of the Cal State Fullerton. I'll come back and talk about membership benefits, and then Ellie Monroe, our VP of Programs, will present some of the highlights of classes that are being offered by Zoom in the fall. She'll be followed by people who are going to be talking about some of the programs that we are offering. The Transition and Retirement Program is going to be presented by Russ Meehan, and these are going to be for those of you, hopefully in the audience, that are transitioning in retirement. He'll be followed by Dr. Joseph Lawton, who will give you some information about the medical series that we have in our program. Both the Transitions and Retirement and the medical series are both open to the public programs mostly. And Dr. Lawton will be followed by Susan Mullally, our VP of External Relations, who will inform you about a really wonderful program that OLLI has. It's the OLLI Cal State Fullerton Collaborations, in which OLLI members mentor and help Cal State Fullerton students. She'll be followed by Mike Stover, who will be talking about plans for how OLLI will be reopening. And Debbie Maxwell will be talking a lot about some of the resources for using Zoom, since this is a time when we are going to be completely virtual, and learning to use Zoom is going to be very important in your enjoyment of being a member. I'll end with volunteering information, and hopefully by that time we'll see President Fran Vergy, our Cal State Fullerton president, will be coming in to close our presentations. And I'll end up with some reminders for you at the end. So with that, let's just get started. I'd like to present some fundamentals about our OLLI for those of you who weren't aware of this. OLLI is one of 124 programs that is spread throughout the United States, and it's an Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. And we're affiliated with California State University, Fullerton. All the OLLIs in the country are affiliated with some institution of higher learning. And within Cal State Fullerton, we are under the umbrella of the Extension and International Programs, or EIP, and we are also supported by the Auxiliary Services Corporation, or ASC. The ASC handles all of OLLI's finances, as well as other entities on campus, such as the bookstore and some of the restaurants and eating establishments on campus. So that's the fundamentals of our organization. So at this point, I'd like to present our speaker, our invited speaker, Chris Swart, who's the Associate Vice President of Extension and International Programs. And Chris joined Cal State Fullerton in 2014, and he oversees not only OLLI, but Fullerton Arboretum, and he's also the director of the Bachelor of Arts International Program degree, International Business degree program at Cal State Fullerton. He has a PhD in political science from Northwestern University, and a master's degree from Yale University. And I discovered this morning that he also has a bachelor's from the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana, which is where I had got my graduate degree. So Chris is also fluent in Mandarin Chinese, because as a with his BA, he majored in East Asian languages and literature. So with that introduction, Chris, could you present some of the things that you would like to share with our members?
Sure, I'll say first, although I did graduate from the University of Illinois and these other fine establishments, I am a Titan. And make sure you emphasize that when Fran joins us later. in this presentation this morning. I'm just joking. But yeah, I've had the opportunity to be a part of a number of institutions of higher education, and Cal State Fullerton is a unique one. As a regional comprehensive university supporting all of Orange County, we are in a unique position. I mean, unlike our friends up in LA County, of which there are 5 Cal States, we are the only one in Orange County. And I think the community as a whole, the 3.3 million residents, look to us to lead and provide a variety of educational services to support the ongoing community development needs, that make up the robust environment that we all live in here in Orange County. And OLLI is a big part of that. OLLI is a part of Extension and International Programs, as Joyce mentioned, and we see Extension as a front porch to the university, right? We have rocking chairs and sweet tea available. I'm joking. I mean, I'd love to have that, but we do welcome you in. And I think OLLI is indicative of, that welcoming nature, and has provided, for 40 years already, a significant amount of support to the community. And I think 2020 has been, I don't know how best to put it, interesting for us all. But I'd like everyone here, particularly those who aren't familiar with OLLI, to understand how OLLI has been able to pivot after that outbreak earlier this year to continue to provide a robust array of programs and support for not only the current membership base, but those interested in being a part of OLLI into the future. And, it doesn't really matter what we all want. I think online education is going to be a part of that future. We will get in-person instruction back again. But, this effort that OLLI has been a part of to pivot and provide these opportunities through virtual means is only going to make the next 40 years of OLLI here at Cal State Fullerton all the more robust, all the more impactful. And I think through the virtual engagement channels that have been established, Zoom is one, right, as we're doing today, to engage with an even larger base of community members throughout Orange County and hopefully beyond. So I hope that you understand the Herculean effort that not only the OLLI board and the volunteers, but the whole membership base has been a part of to maintain and continue to provide, all the support that all the OLLI membership asks for. And I really want to provide props and kudos to Joyce and the board because, I've been working with them quite closely for an extended period of time now. And I understand the difficulties. You've seen through the messages that our Chancellor, Tim White, has offered up to help you understand how difficult it is to navigate a system with 285,000 students and 520,000 plus students, faculty, and staff move forward in a crisis. But, OLLI really has done an exceptional job, and your part here today, the virtual tour, learning about all OLLI offers, provides you with an opportunity to engage and be a part of that, and hopefully help define what the next 40 years of OLLI will be all about. So I just wanted to thank everyone for that effort, but thank you too for being here today to be a part of this and to join the Cal State Fullerton Titan community and being a part of OLLI. It represents for us a significant part of the lifelong learning efforts that we hope as a regional comprehensive university we can continue to maintain in a strong and sustainable way well into the future and for many generations to come. So, I wanted to just wrap up by saying thank you and be well. And like someone in chat mentioned as we were hopping on, enjoy the air conditioning. That, if anything, is the one benefit of Zoom, virtual open houses, because it is a little toasty walking out there underneath the tarps and the pop-ups out in front of the Ruby Gerontology Center. As much as we'd like to be there, I think today in particular, the air conditioning and comfort of home is welcome. So thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, Chris. And I also need to thank Chris for the help that EIP has provided and support that EIP has provided for OLLI. We were able to rescue 2 workstations that were stuck at Titan Hall. Here we go. So let me just give some other information about OLLI. Many of you already know this. We are now 41 years old as of August 31st, which is the end of our 40th year anniversary. And OLLI began as CLE, or Continuing Learning Experience, 41 years ago. And they only had 8 classes involving 47 charter members. And today, Ellie will talk about, even in a virtual mode, we have over 87 classes being offered. At that time, though, those members who started OLLI were a set of dynamic leaders that eventually molded CLE into one of the nation's leading lifelong learning organizations. In 2006, CLE joined the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute network and became OLLI. And so here we are today, 41 years later. OLLI is governed by a board of trustees, and this is our current 2020 to 2021 members. As you can see, we are all meeting since April, early April, by Zoom. And this is our hardworking group of people who create the policies and conduct all the infrastructure things at OLLI. We're also supported by the OLLI staff members, headed by Patsy Burns, our administrative head, and by Celia Reynolds and Michelle Sanford. And we normally have 4 people there, and we're going to hopefully hire an additional member when we get back. I'll present some fundamentals about our OLLI at Cal State Fullerton. We have hopefully created a no-stress learning environment. There are no grades, no exams, no attendance requirement, although if you really want to learn something, you ought to go to class. We're a mostly volunteer operation. We receive no funding from the university nor from the state. As Ellie will show you, we have a self-developed curriculum, and no one is ever paid to teach here. This slide illustrates the 3 major sources of information that is disseminated from OLLI. The Gateful here presents all the open to the public classes that OLLI offers. And this is our Blue Book catalog. And it contains all the classes and events that OLLI offers. And this year, the Blue Book has been mailed to people who were returning members. And both of these brochures and the catalog are also available on the OLLI website, which I'm going to demonstrate in a few seconds here. And so one of the things that we found is that the electronic versions of the Blue Book this year are really great in that it allows you to navigate much more easily than before. So it allows you to get to places in the Blue Book instead of thumbing through it. You can just jump to some of these sections, et cetera, into classes. Now, while we're in shutdown mode, probably the most important source of information for OLLI and the most up-to-date sources of information for OLLI is the OLLI website. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time going through, showing you some of the resources, and other members of our panel will also do the same. And this will hopefully be recorded in the webinar. So if you had some questions about how to get around, you can review the webinar as well. So with that, let me get to the OLLI website. So this is the home page for the OLLI website. And I want to point out to you that this more information section contains a lot of useful information. And depending on how wide your screen is, it'd be down on the bottom that you need to scroll up and down from. And let me make this a little larger so you can see some of the things that are in there. So these are some of the kinds of things, and all of these are links, including how to audit classes that I'll be talking about in a few minutes in one of the slides, and how to get the Wi-Fi access for campus. So all of these things are present in the OLLI website. More recently, we have changed the website. And again, I want to thank Dan Kobe and his crew. He's our OLLI webmaster, and they've worked really hard trying to get all of this ready for today. Not everything is ready to go yet, as Ellie will tell you later. But as you can see, one of the changes that we've made here is we've made big buttons for you to go to specific sites that would be very useful to you in maneuvering on the OLLI website. Here, all the classes that Ellie will be talking about will be located and listed. We have help for Zoom here. And very importantly, that I really want to point out that I discovered that some people didn't know during the summer is that all the Zoom links to OLLI classes are going to be listed here. And you may need to log in with your username and password to get to these, because many classes are going to be only available for OLLI members. And here we're going to be hearing from Russ later on transitions and retirement. There's a link to that program. And the OLLI-CSUF collaboration program is accessible from here. And our newest page is this new welcome page that Susan Mullally and crew have put together. And as you'll see, I think this is one of the things I'll get to later. It will contain a lot of important information for those of you who are new to OLLI. Let me move this down. And again, great big buttons for you to go to some of the important things that OLLI has to offer to new members, including registering for the open to the public courses that we'll be talking about later in the program. So let me now talk a little bit about membership benefits. Our OLLI has a membership fee that covers any classes that you want to take. And that single membership fee currently is $260 for the entire year and $150 for a fall only. And with this, you also can audit any Cal State Fullerton class at no extra cost if the instructor is willing to allow you into his class. And in the OLLI website is a link where that panel says more information on instructions on how to audit classes. As you know, we're totally having to do this electronically. So that process is described there. And classes begin this coming Monday. So if you are interested in auditing Cal State Fullerton classes, I suggest you start working this weekend to find classes that might be of interest to you. Your membership also includes access to the campus library, which you can do virtually. And we also have access to a Cal State Fullerton level Zoom account, which is a higher level of video conferencing capability than the free account. You can meet for over 40 minutes and have up to 300 people in your meeting if you so wish. We also have access to several free software that are available to students, and these can be accessed by using your username and password to go to your campus portal. While we're back on campus, we have some of these other privileges. We have student Wi-Fi privileges in a Wi-Fi called EduRoam, and this Wi-Fi is good at many other campuses throughout the United States and also at many universities throughout the world. Many museums also subscribe to this particular Wi-Fi. So with the Wi-Fi on your phone for EduRoam, you have free Wi-Fi in all these other locations. When the campus is open, discounts to student stores and performing art venues are going to be available to you. And we also have free passes to many athletic events. And the campus parking pass and the OLLI trolley are also available to you with your membership. But you know, the greatest membership benefit, I think, that most of us know about and realize who have been longtime members is that as an OLLI member, you join a group of people who are like-minded in really relishing continuing learning and have developed a lot of camaraderie and fun. As you know, when you retire, you leave a host of people that you've worked with and socialized with for many, many years. And so when you leave that, it leaves a vacuum in your life oftentimes. And I think OLLI, at least for me and many others, fulfilled that need of having another new group of friends in this new stage of your life. So this is one of the major benefits, I believe, for OLLI. So there are other programs that are at or near the Ruby Gerontology Center when we are able to get back. We're one of the lucky OLLIs in that 124 grouping in that we have our own facility, the Ruby Gerontology Center. And within the Ruby Gerontology Center, we have an affiliated program called the Center for Successful Aging. This is a separate program from OLLI. It has a separate fee for some of their services, and it's conducted or run by the College of Health and Human Development. And this organization has got a great program for maintaining your health and vitality. And I want to especially point out their program on balance is really fantastic. There's also the Robust Aging Program, or RAP, which is part of the School of Nursing. And this facility within OLLI provides some basic health assessments. They'll take things like your blood pressure measurements or other kinds of testing that they can do for you on site. And of course, Fullerton Arboretum is right next door to OLLI, and that's 26 acres of lovely outdoor resources. OLLI also has a number of their classes at that location, and we will be able to use it when we get back. The Fullerton Arboretum, like OLLI, is also part of Chris's group, the Extension and International Program. So that finishes my part of the introduction and overview. I'd like to now turn the program over to Ellie Monroe, our VP of Programs, who will inform you about the many classes and events that are coming up for you in this fall. So Ellie, take it away.
Thank you, Joyce. I want to greet all of you this morning and thank you for taking time to visit our virtual open house. OLLI has adapted quickly to the requirements of using Zoom as a method of presenting information and our programs to our members. Our summer session was quite successful and well received by the majority of those members who attended the over 50 classes that we had presented. Attendance reports were quite high. We're very satisfied with that. So why was Zoom so successful? Well, mostly because our members were able to hear and see more clearly. Okay. Did not have to look for parking. They're able to attend more classes. What we're noticing is our members are attending more classes than they did when we were on site. Those with mobility issues have been able to attend our classes. We see and we visit with our friends and our fellow members. And we also are meeting new faces, meaning our newest members are coming in, and we were just delighted at being able to converse with them. We also have our outreach goes out beyond the County of Orange. As I noticed in the chat, we have somebody here from Nashville, Tennessee today. We also have some members who have joined that are from San Diego County, from South Dakota, from North Carolina. So a lot of people are coming in to visit us during this past summer. One of the things I will let you know is some of our class instructors have decided to go ahead and continue their classes. And this was as a result of many of our members requesting that we continue to meet because they've enjoyed it so much. So be informed that many of our classes are still running throughout the intersession. You are welcome to join and watch and sit in on those classes, even if you are not a member. So if you're interested in that, please put your email address in our chat box, and I'll send you a copy of which classes are being offered at this point. Okay. At this time, we have over 87 classes that are being offered in all different areas of study. We have 40 new instructors and coordinators in training. Many of the terrific seasoned instructors are returning from the summer to bring their courses forward. And our instructors will continue to work on solutions to some of the classes that we're currently missing. One of those efforts has to do with the band. The band is currently trying to come up with ways that they can do a class online. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, it will be different than what is written in our blue books. And many of the classes might be depending on the instructor and what they decide they want to promote. Next slide, please. As you know, we have these many classes which basically benefit your lives. They can make anything from stress reduction to socializing to continuous learning classes, and on and on and on. Lots of different benefits come from attending our classes, and I'm going to basically give you an example of how this happens. Next slide, please. Okay, our classes will promote healthy living, physical exercise, which builds stamina. We improve our muscle endurances and strengthen your bones. It keeps you active, which helps maintain your weight. Some of these classes are the TAP class, longevity stick, Tapercise, and Ollie flash mob. I encourage you to join in. Next slide, please. It promotes self-worth and civic and world awareness. It provides you with a wealth of knowledge to deal with the current affairs and how they affect your lives. And as you can see, we have a multitude of different classes that are ongoing. Be sure to get in on the Trump presidency. See how they run. We'll give you the latest and greatest what's going on as you're heading towards the voting polls. We also will have a special presentation on October 6th. It's given by the League of Women Voters, and that particular class is basically going to give you information on the latest initiatives and help you get that information readily. Next slide, please. Creativity. It builds confidence levels, and it gives you a sense of pride. It allows you to express yourself and invoke imagination. It gives you a sense of purpose. Many of these classes that fulfill this are our ceramics 1 and 2 classes, our many drawing classes that we have, watercolor, sit-and-knit, and photo classes. And we now have a new one called Introduction to Sketchbooking. So I would highly recommend these classes to you. Next slide, please. Stress reduction. Our classes provide a mental distraction to you, which decreases stress hormones. It reduces your blood pressure and offers you a sense of peacefulness in these very trying times, sort of a timeout, if you will. Many of the classes that we offer, like the book clubs, wisdom healing, writing classes, the noontime student performance classes, and our Cal State University student performance. That's part of our collaboration with our university here. And they are very well attended. They have fantastic students that come in and will do a special presentation for you. So look out for these particular classes. Next slide, please. Thank you. We also have classes that will increase your cognitive acuity. And basically what happens is they create neural paths, new neural paths for you. They do this by using parallel memory, which is a special skill at remembering how to do certain activities which require time and practice. Notice I said practice. Okay, we also use some working memory, which is it holds the information that you use, like remembering a new telephone number, and then also being able to dial it. This also includes problem solving, making decisions, and processing languages. These classes will offer that to you. You're given instructions, you need to remember them while you're in class, and then you proceed to perform them. These are the classes that will fulfill that requirement. Next slide, please. Endless learning opportunities. We have an abundance of science classes and history type classes for you to look at. They're very informative, and I encourage all of you to participate. Remember, in a lot of these classes, you will be part of the participation. In other words, you will be part of the people that are going to be exploring things. Next slide, please. Socialization. Socialization, it boosts your immunity system. It gives you a feel-good response, which, again, that boosts your immunity system. It decreases the feeling of depression. And the studies have shown that we live longer as we socialize. These are some of the classes that will offer you an opportunity to socialize. But I will tell you right now, most of our classes give you an opportunity to socialize. So please know that you're always welcome. I will point out that the virtual socials here, we're having one of those today. That's going to be our dance party. and I'll give you more information later on that specific things, but the virtual socials are going to be scheduled throughout the semester. They're not publicized, but they will be publicized through News Bites, which is online. Next slide, please. Learning new skills. Learning new skills is fun. It gives you an opportunity to explore new experiences. Also, it gives you an opportunity to decide, well, where's my passion right now? So these are some areas that you might want to consider. When you're learning new skills, you're building up brain myelin density, which means that you can learn better. It's the white matter that's in your brain that helps improve performances. The more practice you do, the more dense that myelin becomes. It does this by stimulating the neurons in your brains. More neural pathways are formed, and electrical impulses travel faster across your process as you process new information. It can stave off dementia. Next slide. Other benefits. As you saw, I named a few. There's still constant others, like renewing a purpose in your life. It enhances your personal growth. You're going to learn new technology. It heightens your sense of autonomy. It basically helps you form new relationships through your discussion and social interaction. Next slide, please. Now, an important new item that we have in store for you is our distance learning videos. This was started about 1.5 years or maybe 2 years ago, and it was an opportunity to bring those classes where many of our members weren't able to attend. And it has since then flourished. Let me give you a few examples here. Let me go ahead and open up there we are. Okay. You recognize this particular website. What I want you to focus in on, and I'm looking for it, is our Zoom, our distant learning classes. Can I get to the distance learn? There we go. Thank you. Okay, our distant learning classes are online, and you are all welcome to check them out. They're listed, of course, by the latest and greatest classes that we have done on videotaping. One of the classes that I would like to point out is our COVID-19 update. Dr. Cesario from the University of Irvine presented these. He is the former School of Medicine dean. Well informed, he's an infectious disease specialist by trade, and so he presents many things that we need to be aware of as we're going through this pandemic. So I urge you all to look at this. This is a very, very, very informative and very community friendly. And I'm saying community friendly because we're all in this together of how to take care of yourself in these times. Thank you. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now, of course, I want to thank all of our instructors, our coordinators. They have done a fantastic job. And the things that they've had to accomplish to present you with your classes are learning new computer skills. They've spent many hours doing special training to bring you your classes. They've had to create new teaching techniques that they weren't aware of prior to having to use Zoom. And they're constantly adapting to the new skills as Zoom is being enhanced. So please know that these are our heroes. These are the people that are basically bringing you these classes and offering you the opportunity. I want to mention one additional thing. Our dance party is today. It is at 1 o'clock, and you're all invited. Someone is going to be pasting the link in there for you to be able to look at. And basically copy. So if you go down to the right corner of your participants list and you click on the 3 dots, you can actually get a menu that says Save Chat. And that will save the information for you on your computer so you can access. One thing I failed to mention, we do have open house class videos. And I unfortunately skipped over that because it wasn't in the order that I had been making my presentation. I would basically ask you to please go there. You're going to find a lot of different videos that our current instructors have prepared. They're fun videos. They're very informative. They give you examples of what they do in their class. Oh, thank you, Joyce. I'm so sorry. And, you know, they provide you with lots and lots of different information. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope to meet you soon in one or more of our OLLI classes. And I would like right now to present to you Russ McKeon, and he will present on our Transition in Retirement Essential classes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellie. The Transitions in Retirement program offers classes for the newly retired, the semi-retired, and those planning to retire. We know it's a big change when you go from full-time employment to retirement and adjusting to seeing your spouse a lot more at home, making new friends, and financial planning. For this program, we have 3 classes, and the first one is Transitions in Retirement Essentials on Saturdays at 9:30. Of the 3, this is the only one that's open to the public. And this particular class provides a wide variety of topics. Some of the classes that we typically do are financial planning, psychology of retirement, travel, staying healthy, Social Security, Medicare, and technology topics. The second class we offer is Personal Finance on Tuesdays at 3:45 p.m. And this class is a member-only class. Personal Finance is presented by a certified financial planner who will discuss a variety of investment options, strategies for funding your retirement, and tax implications of investments and IRA withdrawals and member conversions. This class, by the way, has been going on for 13 years for us. And the third class we're offering is the Mastering Retirement, 6 Surprising Steps. This is alternate Thursdays at 2:15. In this class, 6 essential skills for achieving retirement success will be discussed, and they're presented by 3 of our most experienced OLLI members. Next slide. In terms of the Transitions in Retirement Essentials, which is the open to the public class, this class is in its 13th year now. And we start out in September with a 3-part retirement mini-series. Part 1 focuses on health maintenance in the senior population. Part 2 focuses on estate planning. And Part 3 will cover investment strategies in today's world, which for all of us is a COVID world. Next slide, please. The remaining classes for Transitions in Retirement Essentials are maximizing your Social Security benefit, enriching your social relationships, which is presented by one of our psychology professors from the university. Make a note that the October 17th and 31st, there are no classes on those days. In the Blue Book, it says to be determined, but there'll be no classes on those days. October 24th, Medicare Essentials. This class is presented by an organization that actually provides free one-on-one help with Medicare plan selection. And then finally, on November 7th, we'll have a presentation on use and abuse of Medicare marijuana. Next slide, please. Now, if you'd like to register for these classes, we go to the welcome page, and on the welcome page, you'll see there, free open to public classes. This link will list all the classes, and then there's a link here. And what you need to do, you only have to do this once, is just go out there and register for open to the public classes. And then those that are registered will then be get regular emails on the Zoom link to attend those classes. So it's important you register for those classes and then you'll get the Zoom link. Okay, next I would like to introduce our next presenter, Dr. Joseph Lawton, and he will speak about the medical series.
Thank you, Russ. Welcome to everyone for this open house. I guess we probably should be saying that it's a closed house because of this tremendous epidemic that we're involved in. And just a word about that, please try to educate your kids and grandkids about the importance of social distancing and wearing a mask, because they will save their lives and our lives. And particularly people that are in our age group, we're much more vulnerable to this problem. So enough of that. Getting to the medical series, we've been doing this medical series now for about 13 years. And it's a result of a wonderful collaboration between OLLI and University of California, Irvine School of Medicine, St. Jude Medical Center, the St. Jude Heritage Medical Group, and the Fullerton Elks Club and Morningside Retirement Community. The Elks Club and Morningside, of course, have provided us with a venue for these programs, and they have been held there on every other Wednesday. For instance, on starting in September, they would start at the Elks Club, and then on alternate Wednesdays, they would be at Morningside. They are open to the public. They're listed in your blue book on page 56. You can also look them up on the OLLI website. And I hope you all participate in these programs. The purpose of these programs is to create a sense of medical literacy in us relative to our health problems. And these health problems we focus on are relative to the senior population. And the second purpose is to try to develop in us and in our physicians something called shared decision making, so that the more we know and understand about our health issue, we will be able to more intelligently discuss this with our physician in terms of testing, diagnosis, and treatment. And in the past, that has been not part of our opportunity. But today, physicians are focused on that, and they want to share that decision-making process with us. So can we look at the schedule? Now, can we get that on the next slide? Starting in the on the Elks Club entrance in the Blue Book, we will start with gastrointestinal cancers on September 9th. And gastrointestinal cancers, especially things like esophageal cancer, pancreatic cancer, stomach and bowel cancer, we see more of that now in our senior population. So we have an excellent program, a gastroenterologist from St. Jude Medical Center, who's going to talk about the latest diagnostic and treatment modalities that are available for GI cancers. Robotic surgery has become a major factor in surgical problems today. We have available to us abdominal surgery being done by the robot. It's not as invasive. It's also available for pelvic surgery, prostate surgery, lung, heart, brain surgery. All of these things are available at St. Jude Medical Center and UCI. and we have a robotic surgical faculty member who's going to be discussing that. Advances in the diagnosis and treatment of benign prostatic hypertrophy. There's a tremendous number of innovative diagnostic and therapeutic procedures now that are being done for prostatic surgery. Who should be tested? Who should not be tested? And what kind of treatment is available in terms of medication, in terms of invasive and non-invasive treatments? Retinal disorders, we have an ophthalmologist from St. Jude Medical Center who specializes in retinal disorders in terms of tumors, retinal detachments, hemorrhage, and he is a recognized expert in this area. Next up is balance problems and fall prevention. As all of us know, or we should know, that falls are the #1 cause of disability in the senior population. And that has to do with neurological problems and also bone problems, because frequently we develop osteoporosis or thinning of bones. And if we have balance problems and we fall, we're more likely to be disabled with fractures, skull fractures, and fractures of every bone in our body. And a very important, relevant subject. Heartburn, reflux, GERD, gastrointestinal reflux disease, which is related to the reflux of the acid in our stomach into the lower esophagus, which not only causes us to have that burning sensation, but also changes in the lower esophagus, which can lead not only to pain, but also to tumors. And so there's a lot of available treatment, and we need to know the causes of this because a lot of other medical problems contribute to that. So now we will go to the program from Morningside. First up is hypertension, and we have a excellent cardio internal medicine specialist that's going to talk to us about high blood pressure and the effect that it has not only on our heart, but on our kidneys, on stroke. There's a lot of problems relative to the development of hypertension, and the latest in the treatment and diagnostic procedures relative to hypertension. From UCI, we have an excellent world-class surgical and non-surgical cosmetic surgeon who's going to talk to us a lot about skin cancer. And he was trained at the National Cancer Institute, and he's a phenomenal resource. And he's going to talk to us about cancer and other types of cosmetic treatment. And I'm sure he will get into something called Mohs surgery, which a lot of us have had relative to skin cancers. The cost of drugs and safety of generic drugs is a major subject for discussion today. There are a lot of issues relative to safety of generic drugs, the cost of generic drugs. Where do they come from? Are they manufactured in this country? Are they effective? And insurance companies are involved, and governments involved. So there are a lot of issues relative to that. And we have a doctor of pharmacy from St. Jude Medical Center who is very expert in this particular area. Common skin problems in the mature populations, which will also be relative to skin cancer and other major and minor skin problems in people our age. Sun exposure and what that does, allergies, those kinds of issues having to do with our skin. And lastly, advances in the treatment of congestive heart failure. Again, many new breakthrough types of treatment for congestive heart failure, including valve treatment, non-invasive surgical treatment, new medications, and the effect of congestive heart failure and relative to rhythm disturbances. So it's a very relevant subject, again, to all of us in this senior population. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sue Mullally, who's the Vice President of External Relations.
Before we do that, I'd like to interject. This might be a good time, Sue, before you do your presentation, for us to entertain some questions from the audience that we have collected from the Q&A. And so I am opening this up to everybody to be visible. And if Jim or Bob or Bill, by the way, I want to also acknowledge that these are the silent helpers behind the webinar. They've been monitoring the Q&A. So if you could read out some of these that the panelists might be able to address, and we'll have another chance to do this again at the end.
Okay, Joyce, I'll start with the first question from Deborah Mackin. Will you be discussing Zoom classes? When I go to the OLLI site and try to find a Zoom link, it comes up with a link for summer session. When will the fall session links be put up? I think that's probably for Ellie.
Hi. The fall links will be put up in about a week. We're currently collecting all the Zoom IDs, and that will be compiled by the weekend. And then it's sent over to our communications people, who will then send out notices to all the members, and they will be available. If you are not a member, they will not be available to you at this point. You must be a member in order to be able to get the links for the fall semester.
So Joyce, this might be a good time to remind people of where those links will be available on the website, both the open to the public links and the other links. If you can just take a second and show people again the website.
Okay, let me go back and share. Okay, so you'll find in our new website that all of those Zoom links are going to be available here. As someone pointed out currently, and before you get to it, you will have to sign in with your username and password. Okay, so let me do it for you here. And as you can see, this will be all the fall links. And all you need to do is click on the link and you'll be in the class. Or if you need to type in the number will be available here. So all of the classes will be available here. Fall open house, if you go to the OLLI welcome site, here's our visit our virtual open house. And currently the fall virtual open house registration is here, but this link will now include the video that we are recording from today's presentation. So you can share that with you. And we'll go through this open house later on as well.
Okay.
Joyce, there were a couple questions from the chat dealing with membership. The first one was, what is the age group to join OLLI?
OLLI is open to anyone, actually 50 or so. We don't really stick on to an age group, but most members are 50 and above. We have some younger people in the. I was just surprised that some millennials are also in our membership.
And there was another one about, do I have to register for individual classes?
For most of them, no. There are some classes that in the past have had restrictions because of their location, like the computer classes. And Ellie, you might be able to answer this better than I for some of the other classes.
Okay. Most of our our classes have been geared to the size of the facilities in which they are going to be able to attend. And so we do have, like Joyce mentioned, our classes in, let's say, the CEC, meaning the computer education courses and stuff. Those are held in room 20, and they only hold about 18 people. We also have some classes that are in smaller rooms. So far, most of our classes don't have a size requirement. The only ones I think that are currently limited would be your computer classes. But now that we're on Zoom, we generally will not have a class size unless it's a specialized class like workshop, life story workshop. In that particular case, because of the number of people that are, they basically have these breakout rooms, and they only can have about maybe 9 people in each of those particular breakout rooms because of the content of the material and the one-on-one class or instruction that needs to be done. So in those particular cases, yes, they are limited, but very few of those are very few and far between, in other words.
So Ellie, isn't it true that the Blue Book class description in all those cases identifies that?
Yes, it does.
So if there is no description that says there's a limitation, then
Right.
class is open.
Well, one of the things that I will focus in on the Blue Book, you see when you open your Blue Book, there's some classes that have Zoom and other classes that don't have Zoom. At the time that we prepared our Blue Book, it was in April, and it went to publication by May. And at that time, we didn't know where we were going to be. So we went forward and scheduled everything as if it was going to be on campus, because at that time we had little information to go on. Those classes that are on Zoom are noted, but don't completely rule out all the other classes, because some of these classes, like I said, the band is in the process of coming up with a way of being able to present their class. And if they are successful, that class will come on virtual. Okay. Any offsite class that you see in our Blue Book will not be presented until the campus has sanctioned us to go on campus. So understand that since these are OLLI classes, anything that the campus rules will be applied to also the offsite campus classes.
We'll get to that with Mike's talk coming up. Okay, so let's go on to Susan. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Joyce. I'm pleased to introduce you to OLLI Collaboration, where we have the privilege of volunteering and working with the Cal State Fullerton administration, faculty, and students. Also, I was going to suggest that you can get up and stretch. Just don't leave the room right now. Next slide, please. Collaboration gives OLLI members an opportunity to enrich our lives. As you know, we bring with us expertise and skills honed over a few or more decades of life and career experiences. We also have a unique opportunity to work with and enrich the lives of those in the Cal State community. Next, please. There are many volunteer opportunities with OLLI, as you can see in the various pictures. Some are ongoing and some are a one-time commitment. We share our stories, our life experience, and in turn, we impact and inspire the lives of others while meeting many new wonderful people. Next, please. Our OLLI Mentor Program is one of our key initiatives. We volunteer with different types of mentoring, coaching, and tutoring. Our one-on-one mentor program focuses not on mentoring academics, but on soft skills such as time management, communication skills, presentation skills, networking skills. We listen, we share our experience, and are present for our mentee. When I was considering mentoring after I joined Collaboration, I thought, well, I can't possibly do this because I can't even remember what I learned in school. When I found out that it was soft skills I said, I can do this. I've been doing those for years. Soft skills are rarely taught, and many students lack them. And we have these skills, which we've developed over many years. We have programs in place to train our mentors and match the students with the mentors. The time involved for you might be an hour a week or an hour every other week. And we also have our group mentors, and they serve a vital role in the Cal State Fullerton entrepreneurship classes, in business or engineering consulting classes, and in the new venture courses. Mentors work with the professors and are asked to virtually attend class about 10 times over the course of the semester, and each class that they attend will last about an hour. Next, please. So here we are on Zoom. We have learned this new lifelong skill along with new ways of collaborating. Would you ever think that this could happen? And it's been pretty amazing for what we've been able to do via Zoom. Next, please. The OLLI presence across disciplines gives our members a broad area for collaboration. Here are some of the collaboration team's contributions to our Cal State Fullerton colleges. Next, please. Related to the College of the Arts, School of Music, you'll see in the column the various activities that we work with the students and they with us. Our members love music and support the music program in many ways. Cal State Fullerton brings all types of music, musical programs, and classes to us, both on campus and now on Zoom. So you might ask, how do they do this on Zoom? Join OLLI and you'll find out. Related to the college, next please. Related to the College of Education, our former OLLI members and educators have a wonderful opportunity to stay involved in the career they love, working with future teachers in many ways. The focus here is not necessarily soft skills, but success skills for future teachers. Next, please. The College of Engineering and Computer Science. Interestingly enough, one of the students I mentored was in this college. Trust me, I don't know engineering and computer science. We're involved in many areas of ECS. Do you see any areas on this list that you might participate in with collaboration? Next, please. College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Isn't it wonderful that our students are studying gerontology? It's now called aging studies. They want to hear from us on speaker panels, learn about our life experiences, and interview us for their research projects. Next, please. There are so many activities involved with the College of Health and Human Development. We volunteer in the School of Nursing Writing Center, Patient Simulation Lab, and many other departments. Next, please. And finally, the Mahalo College of Business and Economics. For those who have built a business, for those who will be entrepreneurs for life, for those that continue to be involved with the multifaceted world of business, what better way is there to leave a legacy than guiding the students with their projects? Next, please. The greatest good you can do for another is not just to share your riches, but to reveal to him his own. We engage with the students, form valuable relationships, and participate in the development of our future teachers. What a joy to help others realize their potential and to work with other OLLI members. Next, thank you. So I invite you to join us, and just to help you along, keep in mind that every week the OLLI member receives an email titled the OLLI Newsletter, also known in the past as OLLI News Bites. Look for the section Current Collaboration Opportunities to see where you might get involved. And if you're not sure, contact us anyway. Visit our collaboration webpage on the OLLI website and join us for our new collaboration information get-togethers that will be scheduled on Zoom. We look forward to meeting you and collaborating with you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Mike Stover, Vice President, Administration.
Good morning. Good morning. 162 days ago, OLLI held its last campus class in 2020. The question of the day is, when will be our next? No one is sure, but the path to return is becoming clearer. Our days of exile will end. For less than 3% of the university's undergraduates, their exile ends this Monday, with the resumption of severely limited enrollment classes in portions of 5 of the university buildings. OLLI too will return, but not yet. When we do, I believe we will return with a passion and a renewed commitment to build a stronger, more resilient organization. The number one goal of your OLLI Board of Trustees is a safe return to campus. As you can imagine, this is easier said than done. To end our exile, there are 5 key questions that must be answered. When will we know if we can return for the spring semester this coming January? 2, will we return with our full curriculum or only a partial slate of classes? Will some or all of our off-campus classes be allowed to resume at their facilities, such as at the Elks Lodge? 3, how will we evaluate the challenging requirements for a partial reopening? Are these requirements either financially or practically feasible? With room capacities at only 1/4 of pre-COVID levels, how will we manage attendance and allocation of classrooms? In other words, can we make a partial return work? 4, how is OLLI impacted by the financial challenges by the university? We may be financially self-supporting, but when the university is under stress, we are under stress. When the university is impacted by severe budget cuts, we can see the impact. When the university incurs huge COVID prevention costs, we can see the impacts. When the university has staffing limitations, we can see the impacts. 5, how can OLLI members be assured that infection prevention maintenance practices and prescriptive students' behaviors will be met and sustained for the remainder of the pandemic? The news is full of stories of college students at UCLA, USC, Notre Dame, University of Michigan, spreading the virus after attending weekend parties. For our protection, the university is not its own master in making decisions regarding the resumption of campus activities. Next slide. New COVID-related federal, state, and local health and occupational safety measures aimed at institutions of higher learning must be evaluated and implemented before we can return. Slide. Next slide. These requirements are incredibly detailed. Next slide. But we do have a strategy, and we are implementing that strategy to return to campus. An OLLI Safe Campus Working Group that I chair is spearheading efforts to engage the university leadership, from the president to our own associate vice president, so that they understand and respect our issues, our needs, our questions, our suggestions. We will ensure that the Ruby Gerontology Center and entire campus is safe for OLLI members. both in reality and by perception of you, our members. We will identify the new normal, opportunities and limitations that may exist after this crisis passes. Some may even like some of the new things, the new normal. I like the fact that maybe some of our classes, we can choose whether to attend it on campus or at home, can decide whether to get in the car and find a parking space or stay at home. Throughout this coming semester and beyond, we will communicate to and with you so that you'll know what's happening every step of the way towards our return. And finally, we are committed as a board of trustees to protect our dedicated OLLI staff of Patsy, and Celia, and Michelle from furloughs, and using this off-campus period to plan new classes, as well as new improvements to our facilities, to ensure that OLLI's best days are within reach when we return. We'll keep in touch. In the meantime, please stay safe and remain strong. Now let me introduce our membership vice president, Debbie Maxwell, to discuss our resources to help you master Zoom. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Did you know that OLLI has a registration team who is available for those that would like assistance with registering? One of the ways you can receive registration help is to go to the OLLI website, click the Join Renew tab, and there will be a link to obtain help. This fantastic team will be ready to help you register after today's webinar. Please click the Zoom link, which is available in the chat section, where one of these smiling faces, which you'll see in a second, will be ready to greet you. And there's those smiling faces. OLLI also has help with using Zoom. OLLI's Computer Education Committee, CEC, has members that provide tech help for OLLI members. Wow, our own personal geek squad. The sessions are usually one-on-one and are available every Friday from 1 to 3. Information for these sessions is communicated to members by email and also in our weekly OLLI newsletter. OLLI website, olli.fullerton.edu, also has a link to help you learn Zoom. So let's all use Zoom. And who cares what you're wearing? People can only see you, the top half of you. Now back to Joyce.
Thank you, Debbie. And I hope you will all avail yourself to these resources that are available to you. I'd like to just end here. We should be getting President Fergie in a few minutes. What does it mean to be a volunteer at OLLI? As you saw from these many presentations, there are many opportunities to volunteer at OLLI. And the benefits of volunteering are such that because we do a lot of the infrastructure work for OLLI, it reduces membership fees. And as a member of a volunteering group, it builds a sense of community and it cultivates relationships as you work with each other. When you volunteer for OLLI, you also are more exposed to some of the things that go on at Cal State Fullerton. And when you volunteer, you also need to use your creativity to solve problems or to get to do some new things. It provides continuous learning. And as Sue pointed out, in the program with collaboration, you have the opportunity to change lives. And whenever you get done with anything in volunteering, it provides a great sense of accomplishment. So these are a lot of personal things that you will gain. You can help with planning many of the things that go on in OLLI through the standing committees that we have in OLLI. These are the committees that serve as a backbone for OLLI and create the infrastructure for OLLI. So I suggest that you may take a look at some of these kinds of committees that are available for you to volunteer in. And there are many others as well. Now, while we were in this shutdown, volunteers have been totally essential, as Ellie pointed out earlier and others. The university also made a massive effort to pivot on a dime to go from in-class participation to virtual. I like to say that OLLI did the same thing, but we pivoted on a penny. We did it all through volunteers. And this happened by having tech-savvy volunteers who went and learned Zoom technology all on their own. They trained all the instructors and coordinators so that they could use the Zoom. And we also trained OLLI leaders because they had to meet by Zoom as well. And of course, we are training and continue to train OLLI members so that you can take advantage of the many things that you can do with our classes. We also help members of the staff with their equipment and learning to use Zoom. We also have a group of distance learning helpers, volunteers, who are continuing to edit all the videos, the new videos that are being developed as OLLI produces all of their classes by Zoom. So these are made available, as we pointed out, in the distance learning section of the OLLI website. When we get back to OLLI, there are many other ways that volunteers can support us. You can drive the trolley, you can serve on the mail crew, or you can help in the OLLI office. But in general, you can help do stuff at OLLI, and there's so much to do. So I really would like to recommend that you do this. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce the president of Cal State Fullerton, Fram Vergy. I wanted to say a few things about President Vergy. He was appointed president at Cal State Fullerton in December 2017, but he took the helm in January 2018. And prior to that, he was he served at the Chancellor's office, the Cal State Chancellor's office, as their lawyer and executive vice chancellor. And the interesting thing about President Vergy is that, like many of the Cal State Fullerton students, and including us, he's the first generation college grad and is an immigrant to the US. He arrived on the Queen Mary at the age of 5. His wife Julie and he have been a breath of fresh air to this campus and have immersed themselves in the many roles at Cal State Fullerton. Please welcome President Vergy. We're so pleased to have you today.
Well, Joyce, I'm very, very glad to be here. Glad to see everybody. On behalf of the faculty and staff and students of Cal State Fullerton, I'm proud to be here to ring in the new academic year at the OLLI Open House. It is an event always and a group that I love and I never want to miss. Over the years, I've visited OLLI and this group for ice cream socials and live bands and flash mobs and probably the greatest performance of Michael Jackson's Thriller dance that I've ever seen in history. And as I often say to undergrads, forget you guys, I want to party with OLLI. They're a lot more fun. With that in mind, and talking about parties, I want to say happy anniversary, happy 40th anniversary to OLLI. I know that you've had to postpone some of the much deserved anniversary bashes that you were going to have because of COVID, but I know we're also underlining that word postponing. When we can return to campus safely, I look forward to celebrating with you because it is most deserved. One of the touchstones of Cal State Fullerton, of our strategic plan and our mission, is to ensure that all Titans, faculty, staff, and students are lifelong learners, that they take on that challenge when they get here and that they become learners and lifelong learners for the rest of their lives. And it is the current and future OLLI members here today that spark much of that inspiration for me and for so many others. You are a model of what we want our undergraduate students to be and how we want them to follow in your footsteps. Through your actions and your presence, the next generation of Titans sees the value of education, the value of lifelong learning. Through your work, the community is more vibrant, more diverse, more productive, and through your presence, I really mean this, and your spirit on our campus, it's a much more fun place to be and a much wiser place to be. As you may know, at Cal State Fullerton, we look at all Titans from all demographics and from all spaces from a strength-based approach. And I talk to our veterans about this. I talk to our students from underserved communities that we value them and we welcome them as an important part of our campus from a strength-based approach. living their lives and with the lives around them by celebrating their unique strengths and leveraging their power in the classroom. And from where I sit, as a person who's been OLLI eligible, as you might say, for at least the last 10 years now, there's no greater strength than comes from the wisdom and experience, and yes, a few gray hairs that comes. And I love gray hairs, by the way, because those are hairs that are sticking around in my head, so that's okay. So in any event, it is that same strength-based approach that I think OLLI and all of you exhibit so profoundly. You are additive to our campus. You offer immeasurable gifts, not just to your families and to each other, and I know you do that, but to every Titan that you come in contact with. And when you consider OLLI's rich Titan history, it's not a stretch to say that OLLI students, its students, were and are critical to the emergence of our university as what I like to call a university of significance around the nation. Not sure if you all know this, but OLLI started at Cal State Fullerton, as we talked about 40 years ago, but with only 8 classes. 40 years, that means in 9 or 10 years, OLLI programs will be old enough to start their own, taking their own classes. But as I said, I'm old enough, and I haven't figured it out how to retire yet. But I know when I retire or I semi-retire, I do want to know for sure that I will be in those classes with you because I love attending them, and I love seeing the richness that comes with them. Those original 8 classes, now they're, I think last year we had 120 classes and 1,500 members that enjoyed mental and physical and social stimulation of being lifelong learners together. That's not just me saying that. The research indicates very, very clearly that participation in OLLI increases mental and physical well-being, emotional well-being, and adds to the quality of your life. And it inspires our children and grandchildren to love education and learn as well. So in other words, OLLI and you are actually the very foundation, the fountain of youth that we're always looking for, and that is so important to our campus. Much like our students, we can talk about the private good of education that OLLI brings to its members, but what about the public good? Well, I just joined on as Joyce was talking about volunteers. Literally thousands of on-campus volunteer positions have been filled by OLLI members over the years. This is so important to our campus and so important to our students and so unique to Cal State Fullerton. Student mentors, tutors, teaching assistants, lecturers, research subjects, consultants, faculty mentors, dance instructors for me. You serve so much of an integral part of our campus life, and I want to make sure you know that. The importance of what you do just can't be overstated in any year. But in the midst of a global pandemic, it's been and continues to be incredibly important here. Indeed, it's true. The Titan style and OLLI style didn't just stay open during this pandemic. You found a way to turn on a penny. I heard that. And reach higher right away. Over 100 volunteers working to transform OLLI's face-to-face programming to virtual programming. Right at the same time we were doing it on campus, and we took lessons from you guys. And if you're like me, it's safe to say that my generation, our generation, is not exactly tech blessed or tech savvy in comparison to some of our kids and grandkids. Nevertheless, we made it happen. 50 summer classes provided virtually over the summer, and more than 80 new classes coming this fall. I love that. So if you're listening, since this is an OLLI open house to encourage people to join the OLLI family, and you haven't joined yet, I strongly, strongly encourage you to do so. It will be good for you. It will be good for your family, good for your health, your emotional well-being, but I'm selfish. It'll also be good for me. It'll be good for our campus, and especially it'll be good for our students. We are truly a Titan family. We welcome you into it with open arms, with ice cream socials and flash mobs and live music and excellent education and thriller dances, on all those things together. And so for those of you who are already part of OLLI, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting OLLI. Thank you for your quest for lifelong learning. Thank you for showing us what it really means to be a Titan that reaches higher. And it goes far, far beyond our undergraduate years or graduate programs. It is a lifelong pursuit. Thank you for being our leaders, our faculty, our teachers, our lifelong learners, and especially thank you for being Titans. I am so thrilled and pleased and committed to having OLLI in the heart of our campus, right in the middle of the heart of our campus. It is intentional that it's right next door to our student dorms, right next door to the gastronome, right across the street from the engineering building, right next to our athletics, right next to our ROTC programs. It is the heart of our campus, and you are in our hearts as part of our campus all the time. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope for those of you who haven't joined, that you give it a try, because I know it's addicting. Once you start, you'll never stop. If nothing else, to come in and play a little poker. And that gets, you know, I can't do it because they clean me out every time. But thank you for letting us intrude and say welcome. So here's to a great semester. A great semester for OLLI, a great semester for the campus. Here's to being healthy, safe, strong, careful, and for a while virtual. Thank you for letting me talk to you today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, President Virgie and Julie. Put a smile on my face. And don't forget, Ellie, we have this Zoom dance. You guys want to join us? There's a link that's on our chat that you can download.
I just sent a personal invite to Julie.
Great.
Thank you, Ellie.
Great.
Of course. But.
Okay, I'll have a few closing words, mainly to remind you, share, that I'd like to end this by just saying, please join us. If you're not from this area or have mobility issues, this is a perfect time to take advantage of many of our current and future virtual programs. Like many of us have pointed out, no parking issues, and this is also an opportunity where you can make some new friends, real ones, even in a virtual environment. And I want to remind you to save the chat from this webinar, because some Zoom links for help with registering for membership and for the Monroe's dance party are located in there. And for those of you who aren't able to save the chat, I will send an email to you with these important links, because I have you, by registering, I have your email addresses. So in case you are unable to save that, you'll have that information as well a little later than today. So with that, I want to make one more plug, and that is to encourage you to go visit our, we'll see, hold on, let me get back to the home page. Visit our Fall Open House webpage, and we have here many of the things that you missed in the actual open house, such as the gallery exhibits of our art shows. If you'll click on any of these links, they'll open up and show you some of the things that members have created during the past year, and all the various classes in these various categories that Ellie had mentioned earlier when she talked about them. Some of them have videos that are promotionals for these various classes. So please visit our website. It's getting kind of late already, so I don't really want to go through it. And make sure that you get some of the experiences that we're missing with our real open house. So with that, I'd like to welcome, thank you for joining us today, and stay well.
So you might want to.
Yeah, if you want to become a member, as we pointed out, Debbie had pointed out, there's Debbie. You want me to go back into?
I'll put the Zoom link again in the chat.
Okay,
Register.
okay. And I will also send it by email to you. But the OLLI website has a Join Renew tab that you can go to. Let me share my screen again. That will allow you from almost any page up on the top here. You can just hit the Join and Renew, and you can just hit the register if you're comfortable doing it online on your own, or you can get some help from Debbie's group. And Debbie will send you, it's a special Zoom URL that is available only today from 11 to 1. So people are waiting for you already to if you need help with signing up for membership.
Okay, and then another part of that question was, how do you get a username or password?
Okay.
And so that is sent by the campus. The information to create your username and password is sent by the campus about 2 weeks after you have registered. You will receive an email from the campus with information on how to establish your student username and password. If you need help with that, we are happy to do so.
Yeah, there's also here on the student portal account on the OLLI website where you can go and read up on how to do it on your own, or if you need some help, the Friday Open Lab is available for you to get some help for doing this as well. Okay, so here it is, logging into the portal for the first time, etc. But as Jim pointed out, you need your campus CWID or campus-wide ID and a PIN number in order to establish this if you are a new member. Anything else?
Then there was a question on what is the cost of OLLI for fall. So you might reiterate the cost for both fall and year.
Okay. For the entire year, the whole academic year, it's $260. For the fall alone, it's $150.
And that includes attendance at virtually any of the classes,
right.
Zoom classes. Right. And then there was another question, is it $150 per person or is there a group rate?
No, it's per person.
Okay, and because they were asking for a senior home. So if they are associated with a senior home, they should have that home contact us and we might consider that, but currently we have no relationships with any of the senior communities.
Right, right. Is that it?
That was it. There was several on showing how to show the videos and the exhibitions, and so you should.
Okay, yeah, so those
are
just links that you click on. Okay, with that, again, let's see, is there a charitable contribution button? I just saw that. Yes, there is. There's a donate button on the OLLI website, and certainly at this time of the semester, here again, here's a donate button for making any kind of contributions to OLLI. Oh, it's not working right now. Oh, it's very slow. Okay, it should work.
May I say something?
Sure.
If you are now joining and stuff, if you would like to, you can send me an email and I will make sure that you get all the links for our current classes that we have going on Intersession. So be sure to put your email in there, okay?
Okay. And President Verdi, your remarks were wonderful, encouraging, and welcome, according to the chat.
Thank you very much. It was great to be here.
Thank you. Okay, with that, thank you, everybody, and stay well and take care and look at our website for additional information that's upcoming. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.